Could you just lead us through what the arm situation is and was and where you're at with that?
Yeah, it was a big-time game, and I felt something tighten up on the mound. And, just for precautionary reasons early in the season, we kind of talked and decided, there's no point to risk it. Obviously the only game that matters is the last one of the season. And so just making sure that I'm ready and healthy for the, down the stretch instead of pushing it right now and, maybe something else happens. So we're just being precautionary at the moment, just figuring things out.
Is it like a forearm or
yeah, around the forearm, in that area. It's kind of hard to dictate. Sometimes it's a little sore and it moves around, but something along those lines. Yes, sir.
The first time you had felt it, I guess during training or all season?
Yeah, I mean, obviously you feel little, tweaks and stuff every once in a while, but that was first time I felt that, I guess. But it's just precautionary at this point, and just making sure everything's all right.
Yeah. Are you going to throw this week or next week, or what's the plan moving forward?
Skip's kind of pushing me back a little bit, making sure that I'm healthy. So at this point, I don't think I'm going to throw this week, but just getting me built back up. I didn't throw for a couple days to make sure, but I threw down there and, was feeling all right. So, we're just working on getting our way back up. So I don't think this weekend, but hopefully next week would be the best case of action.
So you threw after that game in Texas, just like side sessions or whatever?
When we got back.
Okay.
When we got back, yeah.
And what's I wouldn't describe it as rehab, but what are you doing to, whatever you're doing behind the scenes to get back?
I guess strengthening is like the main thing. Just strengthening and getting everything strong, because obviously, stuff pops up. If you're a baseball pitcher, then, stuff is going to happen, and you kind of just have to accept that. And so just doing everything I can to prevent as many things in the future as possible, and, just getting strong, getting healthy, and getting to feel good.
It's kind of a bummer because you had thrown so well. You had a great debut. How would you assess your first two games and how things felt otherwise?
It was awesome. I mean, to even get the opportunity to pitch in a game like that was incredible. And the biggest thing that I took away from it is, when I had to come out of the game with that is, all the support and everything that I got from the fans, from my teammates, from all the bystanders was incredible. Just see how many people are behind us as Beaver baseball, and to see how many people are behind me was really cool. And so just to get that opportunity, and obviously it's unfortunate you don't want to have to come out of a game like that, especially a big game like that, but it is what it is, and you live with it and you move on.
Your slider's got some rave reviews for that game against Arkansas. What has the evolution of that pitch been like?
That's kind of always been my pitch. I've always been able to spin the breaking ball pretty well. I've had to make some adjustments to it over the years. I've dropped my slot a little bit from high 3/4 to low 3/4, and it's able to get around the ball a little bit more. And slowly I've just thrown it harder and harder. And so being able to keep the movement while throwing it harder, I guess, has been able to blend into how good it's become. And that's my favorite pitch to throw. That's my best strikeout pitch, and that's just kind of, I guess, my pitch overall.
What was it like facing that lineup?
I kind of take every lineup as the same. I'm not thinking too much about individual hitters. Obviously, I have my scouting reports and everything, but I don't think too deeply about, guys that I'm facing, whether they're going to be, a first rounder or 20th rounder, or, not selected or whatever it might be. So I'm just going to, have my approach, and I'm going to stick to it and not really worry about the crowd, not really worried about, who I'm facing, and just go out there and pitch.
Yeah, was there a big league park factor? Did you sort of feel it when you're standing there on the rubber and throwing your first warm-up pitches in the first, looking around and being like, well, it's a little... There's a lot of people here, and it's a lot of decks here in the stadium. Do you feel that at all? Do you let yourself have a second to think about that?
I thought I was going to be really nervous, actually. I thought I was going to be, a second where I have to breathe and everything. But honestly, all the nerves went away once I started warming up. The night before and the morning of was pretty intense, and, it was cool. And I was sitting there kind of shaking and moving around. But once I got started and once I got stretching and everything, it kind of all just went away. And I guess getting in the zone would be the right way to put it. But, I had no nerves on the mound. I was just, I guess the cool factor of it definitely was there.
Mike, what was your... Oh, go ahead.
Mike talked about the benefit of having a game like that where, you're not the crowd favorite and all that energy and whatnot, how that helps later on. Did you feel that as that could be something I'm thrown into a game like this early in the season, that'll help me as we get going here? Do you share in that sentiment?
Yeah, I mean, it was almost like it was, a home game for Arkansas. And so that helps us, if we go into the College World Series, obviously we're going to face teams and environments where there's going to be a ton of fans and a ton of pressure on us. And so to get that early in the season and to get that out of the way was really cool. Obviously you want to win that game, but I think that, the fight that everyone showed and the battle back that we all showed was just incredible. And, I've all the faith in this team in the world. And it was really cool to get into that opportunity, and also to see how we bounce back the next couple days and really just took care of business. I mean, it was a really fun trip. trip.
I assume that's the biggest crowd you've ever pitched in front of.
Yeah, I don't think it's even particularly close. I think it was approaching 14,000 or something like that. And the next closest is probably 6,000 maybe. I don't even know. But that was pretty cool.
Sounds like you feel pretty comfortable with your arm and all that. What was your concern level that night when you got pulled and when you experienced it?
It's hard to tell, like when you have that much adrenaline, I was kind of like, I didn't really know what I felt. I didn't really know what was going on until I come off the field. And, over the next couple of days, it's starting to feel better and everything. Obviously, we're just being super cautious with it because, that sort of stuff you never want to mess around with. And so, just overall, I'm feeling pretty confident and, just hoping for the best and everything. And I feel good, and hopefully I can get back on the mound next week.
A lot of focus on the offense, which I'm sure is nice to pitch for, but the staff really threw well too. I mean, Kamat's had one of the better starts that I've seen him throw. Segura has really been impressive. Like, how would you assess where you guys are at and how the group is throwing right now?
I mean, we've been saying it from the start. Obviously, the offense is going to get all the buzz, and rightly so. I mean, they're in my opinion, the best offense in the country, and it's not even all that close. But then, when you have a pitching staff like ours too, that's so deep, so talented, and everything, that we can make some noise with that too. And I think we've started to show that, like, we're good in our own right. And obviously Jacob and Eric have thrown really well so far. Our bullpen, has taken steps up, and I think it's good to get some of those I guess shake off some of those big bullpen. I don't know where my train of thought is going, but get into those environments and throw out of the bullpen to get in a rhythm. And I think that a lot of guys really found their rhythm this weekend, and moving forward, I mean, we're going to be lights out on both sides of the diamond, so it's really cool to see that.
Is that what you've seen out of Segura behind the scenes? I mean, I watched a scrimmage or two, and he was pretty good, but I didn't realize for a freshman being that solid. Is that what you've seen?
Yeah, I mean, Eric honestly doesn't really have a freshman's mindset, which is, really cool. A lot of freshmen are a little bit timid, and, rightly so. They've never been in environments like that. But Eric kind of just goes out and pitches, I guess would be the best way to describe it. I mean, he's not thinking too heavy about, the implications of whatever's going on with the crowd or the game or everything. He just kind of plays his game and just goes out and throws. So it's really impressive to see, that level of maturity from him so young. And so he's going to be a stud for the next couple of years and for this year as well.
I was impressed. I think he walked 4 of the first 11 guys he faced, and then he didn't have a walk the rest of the game. Usually you kind of think he threw 30 pitches or something that first inning, and usually those guys, make it past the third inning.
Yeah.
I guess that kind of speaks to that maturity. I don't know.
I mean, yeah, he bounced back really well. Obviously, when you have a first inning, it was a little bit shaky, and he found it. But then after that, I mean, he just cruised. I mean, Oklahoma State just couldn't do anything against him. And I mean, we saw that in the first week too. I mean, he walked nobody in his first start, and so he's just been really impressive. And kudos to him. He's been awesome for us.
Obviously, you were new here, but a guy like Munt, returning after 2 years away, just sort of as maybe even an outside observer and seeing him work his way back to get to this point, what was the reaction to see him return to the field 2 weeks ago?
I mean, it was awesome. Obviously, I haven't been there for the past couple of years with Joey, but getting to know him this year and learning about him and being close friends with him, it was awesome to see that. And just the joy that he had when he was coming off the field, and it was a special moment for sure. And I'm really happy for Joey. I mean, it was an awesome experience to get to be there, but I can't even imagine what it was like for Joey. And so to get to be a part of that, and for him to be a part of this team and be able to do what he's done is really cool.
And what it's like to come back from that. It's that's a tough task.
It's no fun for sure. I mean, that's pretty grueling, and I wish that recovery on nobody. But when a guy does come back, and especially in the way that Joey has, with as much confidence and as much feel for the mound as he has, it's pretty cool to see. And I'm very happy for him, and I know he's going to play a big role for us this year as well.